What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to jump into countries with the best military sniper rifles ranked. Now, if there's anything that I love watching in movies, like it is a sniper, bro. Like someone who can hit someone with such accuracy at such a distance. Like I feel like I'm always so amazed and fascinated. Even when I play Call of Duty, I tried to do the sniper. I sucked at it, so. Uh, I switched up very quickly. But I always like whenever my friend would walk around, no scoping and quick scoping, and I would be so freaking fascinated just watching them. But before we dive in, if you guys have it to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, get a bit of thumbs up, and if you'd like to support the channel further, don't forget to hit that join button and receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
This sniper rifle from Canada holds 3 of the top 5 longest kills ever recorded in combat. But in August 2025, this beast from Ukraine set a world record confirmed kill at 2.5 miles. Now the question is, which country actually has the best sniper rifles? To find out, we have to rank
2.5 miles. Hitting someone from 2.5 miles away is bonkers. And then we think of the UK Challenger 3 that can hit from 5,000 meters, even further than that. That's insanity. That, man, I tell you what, man, it's the intuitiveness and genius of humans to be able to even create things like this.
them from the bottom to the absolute best, and the results might shock you. Starting at number 10 is China's QBU-10.
China.
Chambered in 12.7 by
China.
108, the Chinese approach to sniping is pragmatic in a very Chinese way. While Western snipers are out here doing yoga and calculating wind drift down to the gnat's wing flutter, the PLA decided semi-automatic action with computerized assistance was the move. This thing weighs 29.3 pounds, stretches 54 inches long, and reaches out to 0.93 mil effectively. The
Now, if I was
engineering
going to use a sniper in Call of Duty, that would have been it. The semi-automatic sniper. Yeah, I need to be able to fire repeatedly because I was missing all over the place.
trick is the recoiling barrel. When you squeeze the trigger, the barrel moves backward with the bolt to spread out the punishment over time. The QBU-10 comes standard with the YMA-09 computerized scope, which is basically a ballistic calculator that does everything except pull the trigger for you. Laser rangefinder? Check. Atmospheric sensors? Check. A computer that calculates your holdover while you're still squinting at the target? Absolutely. This thing will tell you exactly where to aim, automatically adjusting for temperature, weapon angle, and ammunition type. But here's the problem: accuracy. With that recoiling barrel and semi-auto action, you're looking at 2 to 3 MOA accuracy. At 1.6 miles, that's a 20 to 30 inch spread. Fine for hitting a truck engine, less fine for hitting the guy driving it. The Chinese themselves admit the rifle's effective range against personnel is only 0.6 miles, despite the cartridge being capable of much more. That said, China isn't betting the farm on just one shaky surgeon. They have the M99 for raw anti-material grunt work, the QBU-141 for squad-level support. And if they really need to thread the needle, that's where QBU-202 and QBU-203 come in. Number 9 belongs to
So
Finland.
that was very interesting though in a sense of it seemed like that scope, like literally, like it felt like the way he was explaining it. How could you miss with the scope like that? With something that takes in the temperature, takes in the wind, does everything for you to where all you got to do is pull the trigger. It tell you exactly where to aim, and it just a shot. You would think like having a scope like that, you would be the most accurate. But I guess with the recoil and everything, it's not as accurate, which is kind of wild to me, and it being a semi-automatic. So Yeah, but that scope sounded genuinely incredible.
Sarco TRG M10. The
Finland.
Finns, who gave the world Simo Heihe and the concept of casual winter warfare, decided one caliber wasn't enough.
Ooh.
So they built a rifle that swaps between three, 14.3 to 14.8 pounds, length between 40 and 49 inches depending on setup. The magic happens when you swap calibers. 308 Winchester for training, 300 Winchester Magnum for serious work, 338 Lapua Magnum when you need to reach out and really touch someone. Same trigger, same stock,
really
same
touch someone.
everything. Change the barrel, bolt and magazine. No gunsmith, no re-zeroing. The rifle just remembers where it was shooting. Actual sorcery. Built to function at -40 Celsius, which happens to be -40
That's
Fahrenheit
insane.
too, because that's where
insane.
both scales agree everything sucks. When your rifle works after
Yeah.
motor oil turns solid, it'll work anywhere. That aluminum chassis stays rigid while the free-floating barrel keeps accuracy consistent through temperature swings that would make other rifles throw a tantrum. 1 MOA for the 338 and 300, 2/3 MOA for the 308. Not marketing fluff, actual acceptance standards. Rifles that don't meet this get sent back for remedial training.
So did he say earlier what MOA stands for? I'm gonna Google it real quick just because I feel like he gonna keep saying it and I'm gonna be like, what did MOA mean? So y'all bear with me for a second. Minute of angle. Okay, a crucial measurement for extreme accuracy, representing 1/60th of a degree. Dang, 1/60th of a degree? That's insane. Okay. Here we go. We're back at it.
Finnish Defence Forces dropped 11 million euros in 2023 for a complete package. Rifles, high-performance 338 Lapua rounds, spotting scopes, rangefinders, shooting rests. But here is the problem. 17 grand per rifle. That's serious money. Nearly 15 pounds means it's not winning lightweight competitions. And NATO calibers only. 50 BMG anti-material work and the newer Norma Magnums aren't happening with this platform. The Finnish Defence Forces also field the TRG-22 and TRG-42 for proven long-range precision, the newer Sarco M23 and the TKIV-85. Number 8 brings us France's PGM Hecate 2, named after the Greek goddess of witch.
From the way he explained Finland, it sounded like China's number 10 was better than the number 9, but maybe I just had got obsessed with that scope. But the fact that they're able to change it out for 3 different type of ammunition, 3 different types of bullets, 3 different calibers, is that common among snipers?
Brings us France's PGM Hecate 2, named after the Greek goddess of witchcraft, and honestly, the way it handles recoil feels like actual sorcery. 30 to 35 pounds, 54 inches of bolt-action elegance. In service since 1995, making it old enough to have a quarter-life crisis. But the Hecate doesn't care about trendy semi-auto designs. It's a precision purist, choosing accuracy over rate of fire every single time. The barrel comes from FN Herstal with stellite alloy lining, same hardcore material used in machine guns. French testing showed 0 accuracy degradation after 12,000 rounds. Most precision barrels start dying around 3 to 5,000. This thing keeps printing tight groups while other barrels are begging for retirement. Recoil management is where physics gets weird. 50 BMG generates 10,200 foot-pounds of recoil. 7.62 NATO generates 17. The Hecate somehow makes 50 BMG feel like 7.62. Unconfirmed reports say it shot sub-MOA at 1.05 miles during US testing. Can't verify that specific claim, but the rifle's reputation for extreme accuracy is undisputed. French snipers regularly engage beyond 1 mile, and the rifle handles it without breaking a sweat. The Hecate saw extensive combat in Afghanistan and French operations across Africa. Proven, reliable, absurdly accurate, but also heavy as hell at 35 pounds fully configured, making repositioning a cardiovascular workout. That
Yeah.
bolt-action design means if you miss, you're manually cycling for a follow-up shot while your target is already running. The French also field rifles like the PGM-338 for modern long-range precision, the Ultima Ratio for urban and counter-terror roles, the Cadex CDX-40 Shadow and PGWLRT-3 to expand their extreme range. Number 7.
Think a sniper made in like 1995. Like you would think, I guess for me who doesn't know anything about snipers, if I'm being honest, I would think like, oh, that weapon, like, oh, like how is it? How that's it can match up to the snipers of today. But he said that's a purist, right? That joker, you're going for accuracy because you're not putting in the semi-automatic design. This is I got one shot at this. And they usually engage from over a mile out, so it has to be pretty precise. You would assume if they're going to engage from a mile out. But the fact that was it the barrel that he was talking about? The fact that that can last, he said they did over 12,000 rounds, and it was still good as gold. While most other sniper rifles, the barrels go about 3,000 to 5,000 rounds, and they about ready for retirement. So that is genuinely incredible. And one thing I didn't say about Finland's in the last one was the fact that sniper could stand up in such like cold weathers and still not be affected is also incredible. A Snipex alligator, that sound
Is Ukraine's Snipex alligator. Holy hell, this thing
So one, this is this the one that got the record for 2.5 miles.
isn't a rifle, it's a war crime with a scope. Chambered
It's a
in
war crime with
14.5
a
by
scope.
114, this beast makes the 50 BMG
Oh my,
look
that's
like a BB
crazy.
gun.
It's a monster.
The 50 BMG fires a 710 grain bullet at 2,920 feet per second, generating 13,438 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The alligator fires a 978 grain bullet at 3,280 feet per second, generating 23,380 foot-pounds. That's
That joker do when he shot that, it do look like it'll take your shoulder off.
75% more energy than the 50. This cartridge doesn't penetrate armor, it disrespects it on a personal level. At 55 pounds, the alligator is so heavy it requires a two-person team with vehicle support to move any significant distance. Pure insanity.
Hey.
79 inches long, taller than most people. The 47-inch barrel alone is longer than some complete rifles. Managing the absolutely insane recoil required Snipex to engineer multiple mitigation systems. The rifle's mass absorbs significant energy. A 4-port muzzle brake redirects gases and absorbs up to 40% of recoil. A recoil isolator buffers the action. Multi-layer elastic shoulder padding cushions the shooter, though field reports question its actual effectiveness. Weight distribution keeps everything stable. Despite all this, firing the alligator remains physically demanding. Each shot is a deliberate event that reminds you of your mortality and makes you reconsider your life choices. Accuracy-wise, at 1.3 miles using standard 14.5 machine gun ammo, a skilled operator placed 2 of 5 shots on a 0.4 inches diameter target. That's roughly 1.7 to 2 MOA, respectable for anti-material work. At least, that is what the math says. But in August 2025, a Ukrainian sniper team ignored the stats and used this monster, likely with AI and drone assistance, to set a new world record, scoring a confirmed kill at an impossible 2.5 miles. But let's be clear about the alligator's mission profile. This is not for shooting people, though it absolutely can. It's for destroying light armored vehicles, fortified positions, communications equipment, radar stations, ammunition depots, and fuel stores. Against these larger targets, the alligator's armor-penetrating power and extended range make it uniquely effective. Ukrainian forces also rely on rifles like the Sarko TRG M10 and UAR-10 for conventional precision work, the Snipex T-Rex, and the MCR Horizons Lord for extreme long-range and anti-material capabilities. At number 6, we
Yeah,
have
that Joker, that alligator was an absolute monster, and that recoil definitely looked like it was physically demanding to shoot this gun and be accurate and keep your shoulder. The fact that it takes it's a two-man job to move this monster. You the way it looked, it's no surprise at all that it wasn't built to shoot people. It was built to take out light armored vehicles. It was built to penetrate armor. He said it can kill people. Yeah, if it can penetrate armor, we know it can take people out. That's not what it was built for. But my day, yeah, that's power. That is absolute power.
the Steyr HS50M1 from Austria, a rifle that proves sometimes the best innovations are the subtle ones. Steyr Mannlicher has been making firearms since the 1800s, so they know a thing or two about precision engineering. Weighing 30.4 pounds without optics and stretching 57.5 inches, the HS chambers the 50 BMG. But the defining feature isn't the caliber, it's how you feed it. This rifle uses a side-loading magazine system. Instead of inserting magazines from below, which requires moving the rifle off target and potentially disturbing zero, the magazine loads from the left side of the receiver. This matters more than you'd think. When engaging multiple targets and conducting extended observation, the shooter maintains position and keeps optics on the target area while the spotter reloads. In hide positions where movement must be minimized, side-loading prevents the exposure that comes from manipulating the rifle underneath. Small detail that provides significant tactical advantages. The 5-round magazine lets you stay in the fight without advertising your position every time you need fresh ammo. The barrel is created through Steyr's cold hammer forging process, which is exactly what it sounds like. They hammer the barrel blank around a mandrel while the steel is malleable, creating exceptional dimensional accuracy and a stress-relieved bore surface. The result is consistency from one barrel to the next and stable accuracy characteristics throughout barrel life. Then they add fluting, those distinctive longitudinal grooves machined into the exterior. Fluting increases surface area for faster heat dissipation during extended fire missions and reduces weight without compromising rigidity. At 30.4 pounds, the HS is noticeably lighter than many 50 BMG competitors. Austria also has the SSG-08 and the newer SSG-M1 for high-end precision work, the SSG-69 and the Ritter and Stark SX-1MTR to round out modern long-range capability. Number 5 brings us Russia's ASV.
These young boys, these snipers, when you think about just every little detail that goes into creating these kind of weapons, it kind of blows your mind a bit. It's like, but then when you think about the job of a sniper, like every tiny, minuscule detail matters. And so it makes sense that every detail is thought of when creating the weapon. But the fact that you load from the side, why, if that helps so much, like into where you don't have to disrupt the gun or move it off its target, why is there not more snipers that do a side load?
KM Cord M. The name's a mouthful, but wait until you see what it does to armored personnel carriers. The ASV-KM chambers the 12 7x108 Soviet cartridge. At 22 pounds, it's dramatically lighter than competitors. Not comfortable for extended carrying, but feasible where heavier rifles demand two-person teams with vehicle support. This mobility advantage allows deployment in more dynamic situations. The bullpup configuration places the action and magazine behind the trigger group, creating a compact overall length of 55.9 inches, despite the 1000mm barrel. Maneuverability advantages in vehicles, buildings and confined positions while maintaining the long barrel length crucial for accuracy and velocity. But here's the Russian twist. While the Barrett M95 places the bolt handle behind the trigger, requiring the shooter to reach back awkwardly, the ASV-K places it forward of the trigger. This allows rapid, natural bolt manipulation with the strong hand, maintaining better shooting position and enabling faster follow-up shots. The free-floating barrel is a significant departure from previous Russian designs, where barrels were often clamped by handguards, completely ruining harmonics. The muzzle brake is massive, a multi-baffle device reducing recoil by nearly 2.5 times, making it usable
Oh,
by a soldier of average build instead of requiring
yeah.
some genetic freak. The rifle features
That's why I said yeah, the recoil didn't look like too like bad compared to the monsters that we just watched, where that recoil was literally like shifting people's whole bodies back.
Russia's standard side-mounted dovetail scope rail, accepting various day and night optics. The whole point of this
Oh,
rifle was beating Western body armor. American ISAPI plates stopped Russian 7.62 sniper rounds cold, but 12.7 by 108 just punches straight through. Russia is not betting everything on the ASVK-M alone. Alongside it, rifles like the Orsis T5000 and SV98 handle precision sniper work. The OSV96 fills the
oh,
semi-auto anti-material role. The VSS Vintorez and the newer Chukavin SVCH cover suppressed and designated marksman duties. At number 4 is the
some of these look like not like snipers, but different kind of guns. That so that was Russian, 22 pounds. I think that's the lightest sniper that we've had on the list so far. So to be able to do the damage it does, where it's not taking a two-man job to carry your ram. It might suck a bit carry your ram, but it's manageable. And then it doesn't take someone with the ridiculous build to be able to fire it. So that comes with advantages.
Macmillan TAC-50, Canada's designated C-15.
Canada.
This rifle holds 3 of the top 5 longest confirmed kills in
That's
military
insane.
history. 1, 3, and 4, all TAC-50, all Canadian. It weighs 26 pounds and stretches 57 inches long. The rifle chambers the 50 BMG and features a bolt
Right, how much
11
did it
inches
weigh?
long, Canadian. It weighs 26 pounds and
Okay.
stretches 57 inches long. The rifle chambers the 50 BMG and features a bolt-action design.
Look at
While
those
many
bullets.
allies selected the semi-automatic Barrett M82, Canadian forces went bolt-action for purely qualitative reasons. Moving parts decrease precision. The manually operated
Correct.
rotating bolt with dual front locking lugs ensures the cartridge is held in a
Oh,
consistently rigid position every time the trigger breaks. No movement, no variables, just pure mechanical consistency. The rifle features a match-grade, free-floating barrel made by Lilia Precision Rifle Barrels. These stainless steel barrels are hand-lapped, polished
oh,
internally to
that joker jerking. Oh, you saw it. I mean, that was one of the first videos we seen him do standing up and shooting. So, but that joker laying down, I saw that shoulder jerk back. Oh my! But I mean, look what he's firing.
micron-level smoothness and fluted to dissipate heat efficiently. Macmillan guarantees 0.5 MOA accuracy with match-grade ammunition. That's a 5-inch group at 1,000 yards, a level of precision usually reserved for much smaller competition rifles. In 2017, a Canadian JTF-2 sniper used this rifle to kill an ISIS fighter in Iraq at over 2.2 miles, with the bullet in the air for roughly 10 seconds. Before that, Canadian
That's
snipers
insane.
Rob Furlong and Aaron Perry both scored confirmed kills past 1.5 miles in Afghanistan in 2002, also using the TAC-50. The stock is Macmillan fiberglass, less modular than new chassis systems but bomb-proof durable. Optic is Schmidt and Bender 5 to 25 by 56, German glass so clear you can see forever. But bolt action means no rapid fire if you're compromised. Lighter weight means more felt recoil than heavier platforms, and the
Yeah,
fiberglass
I can
stock
tell.
lacks tool-free adjustability of modern chassis. Still, 3 world records earn it the
Yeah.
4 spot easily. The Canadian
Yeah.
Armed Forces has the C-14 Timberwolf for lighter precision work,
I
the
like the
Sarco
name.
TRG-M10 as a
Oh.
modern multi-caliber platform, the Cadex
Bro,
CDX
some of these scopes be looking like they attach telescopes to the top of these snipers. I'm like, how far can they see? How far can some of these scopes see? They look like legit telescopes on top of these snipers.
50 Tremor and PGW Coyote to cover everything from urban sniping to extreme range and anti-materiel dirt work. Number 3. Accuracy.
But that sniper, yeah, like you said about that recoil, you could see that recoil was something. It looked like it was gonna rip dude's shoulder off, and I saw it jerk. But the fact that this sniper holds 3 of the top 5 longest kills confirmed world record for snipers I mean, that in itself says everything you need to know about the sniper to me. Like, that's wild. Uh, but that sniper, with it does come with cons, but the pros, I think, the accuracy that that thing has is insane at such a distance. I That's bonkers, dog.
The International G-22 from Germany.
Dang,
When a
it's
nation
called the
with Germany's
accuracy.
engineering tradition turns to Great Britain for their primary sniper system, you know that British
Oh,
rifle is something genuinely special. The rifle weighs
so
20.5
this is a
pounds
British
loaded
rifle.
and stretches 47.2 inches long. The magazine holds 5 rounds, and it's a bolt-action manual repeater built like a Swiss knife. This rifle is
Oh,
the classic Arctic warfare platform, upgraded with the modern AX chassis, and that upgrade matters hugely. The
that
original
recoil didn't look bad at
G-22
all.
served forever, but lacked modern accessory rails for night vision and thermals. The rifle took those proven actions and barrels, stuffed them into new AX chassis, and created something special. The heart of this rifle is the permanently bonded receiver and chassis, glued and bolted into one monolithic piece. Rigid,
Oh,
zero shift proof, and if you shatter the plastic stock skins in combat, it still holds zero. That's reliability when your life rides on a cold bore shot. The AX
yeah.
chassis brought folding stock that locks up solid, adjustable everything, and key slot mounting,
Hey.
finished in pale brown for multi-environment camo. The bolt has ice-clearing flutes, so it works when frozen shut. 300 Win
Oh,
Mag is the sweet spot cartridge. Magnum 7.62 with way more punch than standard NATO, but less recoil than 338 Lapua. Faster follow-ups, easier to spot impacts. The bonded design holds zero through abuse better than anything. But 300 Win Mag is an older belted design, ballistically inferior to newer 300 Norma or 338 Lapua for extreme range. And over 20
okay.
pounds combat ready blurs the line between sniper rifle and anti-materiel weight class. Earns 3 through proven performance and that legendary accuracy international reliability. Germany is not putting all its faith in the G-22 alone. Alongside it,
Okay.
you have the Haenel RS-9 and DS-R1 to
Ooh.
handle modern precision rolls, and platforms like the Heckler & Koch PSG-1 to influence doctrine and training. Number 2 belongs to the
That one, that was like, I guess I was misunderstanding. So did Germany turn to the British for that sniper? Is that the sniper that the British designed for them, or is that Germany who made that sniper? I think that's where I'm a little confused about. But he said it performs very well. The recoil compared to a lot of other snipers on this list looked very, very minimal. So you saw people shooting it from different positions where never once did I look and think, oh, that's gonna tear their shoulder up. But so the recoil on that thing, I'm sure the shooters are extremely pleased with that. Their shoulder's not going through the recoil. That their shoulder's not going through what some of these other shooters with this recoil on these other snipers going through. All right, here we go. I think he said U.S. at number 2 with this next one.
PSG-1 to influence doctrine and training. Number 2 belongs to the United States with the Barrett Mark 22. The United States military's search for a new sniper system, the Advanced Sniper Rifle Program, was a rigorous competition to replace the aging M2010, Mark 13 and M107 platforms with a single solution that could do everything. The
That
winner
looks so
was
much
the Barrett
lighter than the
Multi-Role
others.
Adaptive Design, the MRAD, designated as Mark 22. US SOCOM needed a rifle that could reduce the logistical footprint.
That recoil looks almost non-existent as well. That recoil looks so minimal compared to a lot of others on this
Mark
list.
22. US SOCOM needed a rifle that could
Oh
reduce the
wow.
logistical footprint dramatically. Instead of deploying with 3 different rifles, 7.62 for urban environments, 300 Win Mag for mountains, 50 cal for anti-material work, the Mark 22
That recoil
allows
is
the
beautiful.
operator to change calibers at the user level in the field. This
Oh,
one rifle, many missions concept streamlines training and logistics while providing the sniper with the exact tool needed for the specific target set they're facing. The Mark 22 weighs 13.9 to 15.2
Yeah, it
pounds,
looks
with
so
an
light.
overall length of 42.4 to 49.4 inches, depending on barrel configuration. It chambers 3 calibers: 338 Norma Magnum, 300 Norma Magnum, and 7.62 NATO. The magazine holds 10 rounds, double most
Oh,
competitors,
wow.
and it's a bolt-action repeater with some genuinely clever engineering. The upper receiver is 7000 series aluminium, monolithic top rail with built-in 10 mil taper, giving extra elevation for ultra-long shots. The bolt runs in a polymer sleeve that's self-lubricating and smooth even when fouled. Trigger is a drop-in module, adjustable and removable without tools. Folding stock locks onto the bolt handle when folded to prevent snagging. Designed for suppressed fire, both Norma cartridges optimize to work with modern cans. But it's complex, more parts, more potential failures if not properly maintained. Cost is brutal. Full kit with
How
all
much is
3
it?
barrels and optics runs 17 to 20 grand. Some snipers prefer dedicated rifles, worried about zero retention when swapping barrels in combat zones, even though testing proves it works. The United States is backed by proven platforms like the Macmillan TAC-50 for extreme range dominance, the Mark 13 Mod 7 for dedicated long-range precision, the Barrett M82 and M107 for semi-auto anti-material fire, and the M2010 ESR that shaped modern US sniper doctrine. Number 1
Nah,
is
that sniper they just had looked very amazing in a sense. You got the lightest sniper, 13 to 15 pounds, so the lightest sniper on the list. It looked like the recoil was almost non-existent at times as people were shooting. That was a beautiful thing, and so its ability. So I'm sure that absolutely makes it very comfortable. And then just the design, it looks so much smaller compared to the other snipers. So the fact that it can do the same job in a sense, the fact that it's number 2 on this list. It lets you know how modern it is and its capabilities. Accuracy International. The fact that there's accuracy in the name, you know it's going to be great.
ESR that shaped modern US sniper doctrine. Number 1 is UK's Accuracy International, AWM, designated L115A3 in British service.
Oh, that looks very, very light. That looks even lighter than what we just saw.
The AWM earns the top spot through unmatched combat-proven reliability, legendary accuracy, and defining
seeing
the
much recoil at
338
all.
Lapua Magnum
all.
as the ultimate sniper cartridge. Designed by British Olympic shooter Malcolm Cooper, the Arctic Warfare was built to survive where everything else failed. The flat-bottomed action is bonded to an aluminium chassis, then covered with high-impact polymer skins, making it immune to temperature swings, humidity, and abuse. It was tested to function at -40 Celsius and works flawlessly in Afghan mountains or Iraqi deserts.
Yeah,
The
no
AWM was the first major
minimal,
military
very minimal.
adoption of 338 Lapua Magnum, the cartridge that bridged the gap between 7.62, too weak past a mile, and 50 BMG, too heavy and bulky. 338 flies flatter than 50 BMG, hits harder than 300 Win Mag, and stays supersonic out to 1 mile. In November 2009, British Corporal Craig Harrison used this rifle to kill 2 Taliban machine gunners consecutively at 1.54 miles. That's engaging 6 by 6 foot targets in a 25 by scope while compensating for over 400 feet of bullet drop. The AWM is the most battle-proven system on this list. Reliability is absolute. Works in freezing Arctic, baking desert, humid jungle, anywhere. The bonded chassis offers zero retention that modular rifles struggle matching. Cold bore accuracy, first shot hitting exactly where aimed, is phenomenal. Perfectly balanced, durable, lethal. Afghanistan, Iraq, decades of combat proving it works. By modern standards, it lacks modularity, can't field swap calibers like the Mark 22. Accessory rail space is limited compared to new AX and M10 systems. 5-round mag is lower than the 10-round standard newer rifles offer. But these are minor complaints against a system that's practically flawless at the core sniping mission. And it is not just the AWM that puts the United Kingdom at number 1. Britain also
Oh,
has the AW50 and AX50ELR for extreme range and anti-material work, the AS50 for semi-automatic precision,
oh,
and the AXMC as a modern multi-caliber evolution.
bro, Britain, the UK. I don't think he said how much weight that sniper was, but that was absolutely the lightest looking sniper on the freaking list. The fact that, oh, dude, the guy hit two guys consecutively from 1.5 miles out. That's insane. That's insane. But yeah, you saw people firing it from different positions and didn't look like it was gonna rip their shoulder off. Looks like something that you could carry around with you. That's not gonna be as burdensome as a lot of these other rifles. And for as light as it looked, the fact that it can shoot so far to me is like bonkers. That's so wild. But we saw a lot of incredible freaking snipers on this list, but it looks like the UK reigns at number one. Um, when it go, I don't know what criteria he was measuring. In a sense, we know that UK's was extremely accurate. We know that it was light. We know that it didn't look like too much recoil on a person, so it wasn't. And one person could carry it. Wasn't going to be a two-man job. Could work in any temperature. I just forgot to mention that the fact that it can work in -40 and still not be affected at all. So UK took the top spot with it. That's all we got. Y'all talk to me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about these sniper rifles and if you would list any in a different order. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.